welcome to the Hockey Fan Report. I am Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and this is the show that is all about you. That's right, we're by a fan, for the fan, and you got to know all about you, the fan. It is Open Fan Monday. That's right, normally we do it on Friday, but we had a very special event last Friday, so we're doing it today. Yay! How are you all doing out there in hockey land? So I've got the games on. I'm paying attention to what's going on, and it looks like he did it. That's right. Alexander Ovechkin has tied the great Brett Hull for number third overall with 741 goals. Scored the third Caps goal, which is right now the game-winning goal. And he's actually only 3 game-winning goals behind tying for first in that. I'd have to double check who the number one is, but I can look at that later. I was paying attention to it. So, hey, welcome to the show. This is all about you. This is your show. You talk to us. Tell us what you want to talk about. All 3 of you that are watching today, I think Slashley might be along a little bit later. I'm hoping I didn't get the time wrong. I think it is 8 o'clock in the Central Time Zone. Hey, E, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Great to have you here. We appreciate it. John Hefter said that was expected by the grade 8. Yeah, it was absolutely. So, I mean, you look at the debate too between him and Gretzky. We got Marianne Holmes chiming in. Hey, Marianne, how you doing? I did see what you sent me. And I don't want to really get into that, so we'll kind of deal with that. Do we have Torrey Krug coming back tomorrow? No, we do not. Both Krug and Mikkola are symptomatic and will have to miss 10 games or 10 days, possibly 5 games or more. So with the Blues, it's the next man up strategy. You look at the last game and up until the third period, they seem to have control of it, but it just kind of fell apart. And that's going to happen in hockey. It's absolutely going to happen in hockey. You're going to see teams just not get through the way you think they would, and that's what we saw with the Blues yesterday. And that's just something a team's got to deal with. But you're still looking with the Blues being one of the top teams in the league, at least right now. Marianne asked any word of Shin. So I'm sorry, my mouse is acting really stupid, so it's hard for me to put some of your comments up here. Doing the best I can, so bear with me. Shin, I seen an article today by my friend Jim Thomas, and basically it said Shin could be out longer than expected. I could possibly see Shin getting put on LTIR. And he's already missed 2 games, or he's missed 1 game. He could miss a second. You can LTIR, you can retroactive it, so you can go back a little bit. And I kind of feel that might be coming. Hey, it's Slapshot. Hey, Slapshot, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I believe in natural selection, but I also think it was a space rock.
It could be, or it could be these hydrothermal vents that they discovered in 1970 something. So,
yeah, a lot of different things. It was a couple of proteins got together and decided, oh, hey, you're sweet looking. Yeah, you're kind of cute too. Let's mix. And they did, and that was the beginning of life on this rock we call planet Earth.
Yes,
See,
yes.
I can help you study.
Yeah, hopefully I get an A tomorrow.
Oh, we know you're going to get an A tomorrow. We absolutely know it. He says, I said, bear with me. What kind of bear am I today? I'm somewhere between a cross between a black bear and a koala bear.
No, you're too playful. You're more like a panda bear.
Yeah, well, not when you've seen me trying to figure out what's going on with my website and trying to figure out who it's hosted on. So, that's an issue I don't want to get great into, but my partner has gone MIA, and I'm unable, and my email is all gone, so I'm unable to figure out who the hosting company is, so I can at least pay for another couple of months to get things going. But hey, I'm doing what I can, man. I'm doing what I can. Hey, Lambert got a new 5G phone. I hope I'm coming through loud and clear, and I don't look really bad. Hold on a second. There we go. Oh, I felt like I was like down a little bit, and it's like, wait, man, what's going on? So I'm moving chairs around in the house. So that's what that is. Put a different chair in here, and I got my green screen draped over it so you can't see it. So I'm doing some good. So hey, I don't know if you heard it or not, but Ovechkin tied Brett Hull today.
Yeah, I saw a clip of it. He had a nice
for
little deflection.
741. And not only that could be right now, because Buffalo has scored, that could end up being the game-winning goal, which would put him at 119 game-winning goals, only 2 behind, and I want to say it was Marcel. I got to look. My mouse is... I'm going to beat the crap out of this ball here sooner or later, my trackball. I had it pulled up. So when it comes to game-winning goals, Gordie Howe.
Okay.
He is... I'm sorry. Ovechkin has 116.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he gets it today, it'll be 117. Phil Esposito has 118. Gordie Howe has 121, and Yager has 135.
Oh, he'll probably catch all of those.
Yeah, I think the chance of him being number one in game-winning goals, Hull had 110. Mm-hmm. He was tied with Teemu Selanne. You look at so Washington just scored again. I didn't see who scored. Wilson did. Tom Wilson did. It looks like. Yeah, he's the one skating to get the high fives. So when you look at the debate between Gretzky and Ovechkin, there's something that stands out for me. That there's 2 things that stand out for me, and it's special team goals. Mm-hmm. Right now, Gretzky only had. And this is so 894 goals. He had 204 power play goals. Mm-hmm. Right? That's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Right? 890 of his points of his 1963 points were power play points. Mm-hmm. So I mean, impressive. But you go down to Ovechkin, his 741 goals. 271 of them were power play goals. To me, it almost puts him in a class of. I actually think he leads the league in power play goals. I think he has more power play goals than anybody else. Mm-hmm. And this is all time now. And it makes it kind of brings down. No, actually, he's 3 behind Dave Andreychuk. Dave Andreychuk has 274. So he's going to end up getting that, right? Mm-hmm. So here's the stat that blew my mind. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Do you know who leads the league all time in shorthanded goals?
No.
Wayne Gretzky.
Oh.
73 shorthanded goals for 149 shorthanded points. Gretzky played the penalty kill, mm-hmm. Right? And that's just, I mean, for me, it just boggles my mind that this guy's got 73 shorthanded goals. You know how many? I'll just give you a wag. I think you know what a wag is. I'll give you a wag to how many shorthanded goals Alexander Ovechkin has.
Oh, man. He's got to be in the 30s.
You're not even in the right zip code.
Oh, really?
Yes. Not even in the right zip code.
How many does he have?
Are you ready? Mm-hmm. 5.
5?
5. He has 6 shorthanded points. If you wanted to sit there and go and compare the two and all of that, I take some away from Ovechkin because he's basically a power play guy, right? While Gretzky has a lot, a lot of his points are on the power play too. You look at the percentage, and then you go and you look at him, 75 shorthanded goals. Wow. To play defense on shorthanded for a score, that's absolutely. I mean, that really boggles my mind almost.
Yeah, that is impressive. I guess I forget. I mean, I started watching hockey because of Gretzky. I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't get to enjoy a lot of Gretzky because I started watching in '96. He retired not too many years after that,
99.
so I didn't get to see the early young Gretzky except for replays. But
Yeah.
he was more of an all-around player than I remember him being.
Yes, he was. Gretzky was all over the ice, right? And he had a knack for being where he needed to be when he was supposed to be there. And he also had very good vision.
Yeah.
Right?
Not only could he score the goals, but he could make the play.
Yeah, he could make the play. And that's the thing. This is the thing that I don't think people understand. If you took away, and I'm going to bring this up here real quick. If my mouse wants to stop being cranky on me. Ah, come on, Micey. If you took away every goal he scored, right? If you took away the 894 goals he scored, he would still be the leader in points by over 200.
That is
right?
That is insane.
So Gretzky has yeah, that's close to that. So actually no, I'm wrong now because Yager messed it up. Gretzky has 2,857 points, right? So if you take away all of those, number 2 is Jaromir Yager with 1921. Yager had to play forever though. Yager played to get to that. Yager played 1,733 games to Gretzky's 1,487. The number for me that is just so impressive with Gretzky is his points per game. In his career, his entire career, average 1.92 points per game.
Oh, wow.
Right? 2 points a game, a goal and an assist per game. I think the next closest, Lemieux, was at 188. Now, Lemieux was, cancer cut him short. He had leukemia. That cut his career short.
But didn't he come back after?
Yeah, but even then, it still cut his career short. He only played 915 games. Right? So that had a lot to do with it. So, but when you look at the overall, and I just, 2 points a game, and this is over 1,400 games, almost 1,500 games. Lemieux did the 1.88 in 915 games. A little bit of difference there.
Yeah. But do you think that if Lemieux didn't have to, leave for his cancer treatments, if he didn't get cancer, would he have caught up with Gretzky? Would they have been neck and neck?
No, I think there would have been some heavy decline there. And he didn't play in declining years, and that's what Gretzky did. Gretzky played a lot in his declining years, and also, well, I don't know. See, now that I think about it, maybe, when you really look at it, I'm kind of looking down the line right now of the line. Like Bobby Orr was at 1.39, but he only played 657 games. A lot less games back then. Mike Bossy, 752 games for 1.5. There's a guy at 1.5 with 2 games played. So he had 3 points, an early player, New Zealand had in 99 games had 167 points, so 169. It just goes to show you what Gretzky did and just how impressive it was. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't take away, trust me, it doesn't take away from what Ovechkin's doing, especially the era that he's doing it in,
Yeah.
right? He's playing in almost what you could call the dead puck era,
Yeah.
right? While they have tried to do things to help offenses, they've actually helped defenses more than they've helped offenses,
Mm-hmm.
right? You look at the goalie interference. You could in the old days you could almost murder a goalie and still get a goal. So they've taken that away. The neutral zone trap, which they took away, which was supposed to help increase offense, I actually think decreased offense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, taking away the the red line that was supposed to help get guys through the neutral zone better. In some ways, I think it's changed. It's actually, I think it may have hurt defense or hurt offense a little bit. The things that they've done haven't increased the goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, you look at the goal scorers on this list, right? If I go to the goal scorers, and I look at the top 10, I only see 3 of them that I consider pure goal scorers, right?
Okay.
And let me pull this up here real quick. See if I can do something here. I apologize. I'm trying to do all this together. I want to bring something up here really quick. Da, da, da.
Well, it looks like the Florida Panthers are going to have their first regulation loss. They're
Lost. Yeah,
losing
it was
to New
4 to
York
nothing.
4-1.
Yeah, the Rangers were up 4-0 last I looked.
Yeah, now it's 4-1 with 11:05 left in the third.
Okay, so when you look at this, let's look at the top 10 goal scorers of all time, and in order, you have Wayne Gretzky, Gordie Howe, Amar Jagr, Brett Hull, Alexander Ovechkin, Marcel Noyon, Bill Esposito, Mike Gardner, and Mike Messier. The difference between Messier and Gretzky is 300 goals. And actually, Yzerman's at 10th.
Okay.
And that difference is 302 goals. Right? So that's the top 10. Of those top 10, I see 4 pure goal scorers on that list. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I will give it to Mr. Hockey, especially the era he played. That was not that there weren't a lot of 6-5 games. There were a lot of 1-0 games, or 2-0, or 2-3-1, 2-1. There were a lot closer games. His 800 goals in 1,700 games is still, that's impressive. He was a goal scorer.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Hull was a goal scorer, right? Brett Hull was a goal scorer. Brett Hull had 20 shorthanded goals. Gordie Howe had 24. So they were on that same era. Ovechkin, I think, is a pure goal scorer, and Gretzky, and those are the ones that when I look at that list, that I just look at that list and go, those are your pure goal scorers. Those are the guys that just knew how to score goals. Other guys, I think the systems helped them score goals, though I could be wrong.
I'm going to have to disagree. I would add Yager to the pure goal scorer list.
I don't know. For me, I think a lot. I'd have to look at it, but I'd have to look at Yager, because I think when you look at his goals are more long term than him. Like, I don't think he ever scored 70. I think the most he ever scored is 50, though I could be wrong. And
I'm going to look that up right now.
I'm looking it up right now. So, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I would. Okay. So this is his goals starting in 1991: 27, 32, 34, 32, 32, 62, 47, 35, 44, 42, 52, 31, 36, 16, 15, 54, 30, 25, 19, 14, 24, 11, 6, 27, 16, and 1. Right? So for me, when you're looking at all of these 82 game schedules and he's got basically 2 good seasons, everything else is just average. I have a hard time saying, yeah, he was.
Well, if you look at 94-95, he scored 32 goals in 48 games.
Okay.
The 47 goals he had in 96-97 was in 63 games, which, I mean, it's still a stretch, but that's still pretty decent.
Okay.
He did get worse later in his career, so he got 52 and 81.
He had 54 and 82 games in 05-06. But you
He
look
had
at that
52 and 81.
94. Let me go back and you brought up the 95. You brought up 94-95, but you look at the 95-96 season. I'm sure if I brought that season up by itself, that you would see there were a whole bunch of guys that were in. I think that wasn't Brett Hull's year. Brett Hull did his in 90-91 and 91-92, 92-93. So maybe that 62 is a little more impressive than I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but I'd have to go back and look a little more.
But he was also with Lemieux, and Lemieux was going to, be the one that they went to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree there. Let's see. John Hafter says that's a coaching choice to put him on the ice, or can do that. I'm not sure what you're saying there, bud. Not sure where you're going there. 4-1 Rangers, 4-2 Capitals, and 3-1 Kings. Okay, I hadn't seen the Kings yet. Kings are winning. Hope Toronto comes back. Toronto has no identification right now.
Mm-mm.
Right, and I meant to add this to the stream so everybody could see what we're looking at, but I forgot to do it. Yeah, I'm bad. Happens.
It happens.
Right. So the other thing that we could talk about as we're moving along here, we can look at. Marianne says, anybody hear about Sonny? I think they're holding Sundqvist out a little bit right now because bringing him in, you're going to have to probably put 2 to 3 guys down.
It really depends on Shen. If he gets put on LTIR, then they can bring Sonny out.
Yeah. Well, obviously, because I think Shen's a $5.5 million guy.
Yeah.
Right. Putting Shen on LTIR right now, would make a lot of sense. Now he's going to miss. That would mean him missing 8 more games. Right. Mm-hmm. But if you don't see him coming back right away, I mean, if the news isn't good, putting him on LTIR and open yourself up that room to bring some guy, Prunovich up, bring Joshua back.
Bring Barbie back, let him start.
No, Barbashev did start.
Or not Barbashev, I'm sorry. Sonny, yeah.
Well, I guess with Sonny right now, it's waiting on the doctors. I mean, I know he's skating, but that doesn't mean he's cleared for play. Right?
I know he's cleared for contact.
Huh?
He's cleared for contact.
He can be cleared for contact, but he cannot. But he may still not be cleared for game speed. Right? There is a difference. They will. In fact, with Tarasenko got cleared for contact 2 weeks before he came back. Mm-hmm. Right? He was taking contact 2 weeks before he came back. So that's it. So
Sonny's been taking contact for a while now.
Yeah, I mean he should be. I thought he was going to be out until December. Mm-hmm. It could be earlier. With Shin being out, that could bring it up. But if I'm the Blues and I'm looking at history, I'm going, I don't think I'm going to take any chances. I'm going to wait until this knee is as close to 100% as possible. I think he had surgery on knees and his hip.
Yeah.
Right. So you're looking at 2 different things. I think that right now it's probably best to just wait. Right. No, and again, I'd rather this stuff happen now than in March and April.
Yes.
right? So this is happening. Marianne says her husband's irritated with Toronto. Toronto just doesn't have identity. They're that team that last season's. They're not Goldfish, right? They are not being Goldfish, and that is an absolute. I don't know what else to say. You know, that last season where they lost the way they did, they are just not being Goldfish, and I'm not sure what else to do there. I don't know how else to bring them along or what else for them, because I think that you just see too much. They have no identity, right? They have no identity. It shows up on the ice. A lot going on there. Okay, so here's the thing: injured reserve, and this is so. She says, I then should they put him on injured reserve so we can go, so we can have his cap. Well, Sonny is on LTIR. Injured reserve does not give you cap relief; it gives you roster relief, not cap relief, right? So if you put a player on IR, you can bring another player up to take his place. That player has to come in under the cap, right? So usually that's why teams don't spend to the cap, so they can bring players in if you have a player that's injured. We right now don't have the cap space to bring anybody in, right? And that's it. And then ES Goldfish. If you've ever watched Ted Lasso, he brings up he has this. He's talking to a player, and he asks the player, "Do you know what the happiest animal in the world is?" And the player goes, "No," and he goes, "Well, it's a goldfish." And the player looks at him and says, "A goldfish has a 10-second memory." That's what you need to do. Have a 10-second memory, and that's what. Ooh, Washington just scored. And it's now 5-2 with 2:13 to go. And it doesn't look like that was an Ovechkin goal. So I guess he's just going to get left there.
Wilson has 2 in this game too.
2, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Ovechkin has a goal and a goal and an assist. Sammy Helms is mad at me because I'm not talking about the Cardinals. Well, I gotta say something here. If you're harping on the fact that the Cardinals won 5 Gold Gloves, but you're forgetting the fact that they got really handled by the Dodgers. I mean, it was a good game, but when it comes down to it, you were outmanaged. And then your manager's gone. I'm not high on the Cardinals right now, right? You have great talent, but you sure didn't use it, right? You were, I mean, what was it? 12 games behind first, 13 games behind first. You had a 90-win season, but what again, I was watching parts of Moneyball today, and Billy Bean. Oh, great, we won 100. We won the same amount of games as the Yankees did, but we didn't win the last game of the season, and that's all anybody's going to remember: who wins the last game of the season, right? So, and to me, it's just with the Cardinals. The Cardinals are not, and they're not the Royals. They're not Minnesota. They're not a small. They're not a small market team, even though they think they're a small market team. Okay, you have 12 championships. That's number 1 in the National League, number 2 in major leagues. Right? You have either the second or third. I think it's the third most World Series appearances. Right? I think the Giants and the Dodgers may one of them has more World Series appearances than the Cardinals do. But when you look at that, for me, I just look at the Cardinals and it's championship or bust. Right? You make the Buffalo makes it closer. 32. I can't see who that is. Buffalo makes it closer. Butler? Can't see. They got his name changed. and got a name to the back of me. And I'm bad with numbers. I gotta start studying those a little bit better so I know who they are. But I just for the Cardinals, it especially if they make the playoffs, it's it's trophy or bust.
Well,
You know,
I mean, I'm not a huge baseball fan. Hockey's kind of more my thing. But for me, even if the Cardinals made the playoffs and got past, that game playoff to get into a series, then I might be okay with talking about them. But they didn't win their game. They didn't move on to a series. This was not a good season. Yay, they had great players that they didn't use right.
yeah, absolutely. And Yolanda is somebody I went to high school with, so she knows me from way back when. Hi, Yolanda, how you doing? Yeah, so that's why, Sammy. I mean, I'm not. It's not that I'm not giving you no love, bud. It's just that for the Cardinals, I look at them differently. I put them on a Yankee style pedestal, and I think they should be on a Yankee style pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you play the way they play, and you have the expectations that they have. I mean, you look at the city of St. Louis, right? It doesn't matter what time of the year it is. Somebody is wearing Cardinals gear. Hot stove. You go look at Fox Sports Midwest. They will play every single Cardinal spring training game. Every single spring training game, including the split squad games. Yet they won't play any of the Blues preseason games. The Cardinals rule the roost in St. Louis, and there's nothing you can do about that. And if you're going to rule the roost like that, right, then go prove it and win your championships. It's been what? The last one was in 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
In my eyes, I look at this team. So I grew up, I was born in 68, right? So I grew up with my prime baseball years being the late 70s, early 80s, right? I remember Lou Brock,
Mm-hmm.
right? I remember the great Lou Brock. I remember a little bit of Bob Gibson. I have some of that attached to me. You won the champ series in 82. You won it. You went in 85 and lost. You went in 87 and lost. Then you don't go again. You don't go again till 04 and then get swept. I mean, I was a bigger Cardinals fan then. Than at that time, it was hard to follow the Blues because they didn't have the streaming services then, but they were streaming Cardinal baseball, and the MLB got on the streaming bandwagon before anybody else did.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They absolutely got on that streaming bandwagon before anybody else did. I'm trying to see where we're at now. So that's why I was following. But again, then you go in 04, 06. Let's see, 04, 06, 11, and 13. And you haven't been back since 13. And you really even sniffed it since 13. And at that point, now I'm looking at other teams. Oh, hey, just for you.
Allie, he's eating mini ravioli. You missed it. You solved the Rubik's Cube. Good job.
There you go, kid.
They're solving Rubik's Cubes.
Huh?
Said my kids are solving Rubik's Cubes. I can't solve
No,
Rubik's
I used to have
Cube.
I figured out how to take the corner piece off and do it that way.
I believe I cheated and took all the stickers off and just put them on.
Made it all black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know guys that did that too. But no, there are, when it comes to the Cardinals, I have to back off of them. I mean, I actually would really love to talk Cardinals, but it's just there's too much. The ownership group right now has turned me off a little bit. And I actually met Bill DeWitt while I was in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I talked to him for a good 5 minutes. I gave him my card. He'll never call me, but what the hell? Who knows? Maybe one day I'll pick it up. Oh, fuck, I'll get an interview with that guy. Oops. Taylor coming out. Oh, no, I'm in trouble.
I mean, I liked playing baseball. I like playing softball. I don't like watching it. I mean, I'm a Cardinals fan. I'll go to a game, but I can't watch it on TV. I don't get too hyped up. That's why I'm on the Blue Note fan report.
Yeah. No, for me, see, and that's the one thing that I think people don't understand. They say that hockey's not designed for television.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. But it was designed for HD TV. And just about everybody has an HD TV. And if you use that HD TV, you can kind of look around and start. I mean, the puck is much better, much easier to see. And not only that, because of HD, you look at when they're in a zone, you're seeing where everybody's set up. You're starting to be able to see the play, right? And that's what I think is really good, is that is a possibility now when, 10 years ago, it wasn't a possibility at all.
Yeah.
Right? Hefner saying bleachers against the Cubs were the best seat. Well, I mean, I'll tell you this, I actually re-enlisted before a Cardinals-Cubs game on the upper deck of Wrigley Field in 1997. Right? Just before the year McGuire came to St. Louis, and I think he ended up hitting like 56 or 57 that year. Where he had the most in the league but didn't lead either league. He had the most in baseball but didn't lead either league. So, yeah. So, I follow the Cardinals. I follow them pretty well, and I watch what they're doing. But I didn't like Schlitz hiring at all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. The Panthers just scored. Maybe they can push this. Right?
No, I really want them to lose.
Huh?
I really want them to lose.
Yeah, well, there's 40 seconds left, so I don't know if they're going to end up getting lucky enough and pulling another one and tying this. Wow. So the Panthers have 43 shots. 3 goals. The Rangers have 4 goals. They've taken 18 shots. Wow. 4 goals on 18 shots. Somebody had a bad night.
Yeah.
Right, somebody had a bad night. Speaking of goalies, let's talk about goalies with the Blues right now. How do you feel about the Blues goalie situation? We're at we're 11 games in, right? Or 10 games in?
We're 10 games in.
Huh?
We're 10 games in.
10 games in. Bennington, and I want to get the number, is 5-2-1. Husso is 1-0-0, and Hofer is 1-0-0. Husso has a shutout, and Bennington has a shutout.
Mm-hmm.
So, who has 2 shutouts in the league?
Who?
Jake Allen. As bad as Montreal's been, he has 2 shutouts this season already.
I'm very happy for him because I was never one of those people that didn't like Jake Allen. Yeah. But at the same time, shutouts are great, but they don't mean, you don't have to have a shutout to be a winning goalie. No, you can win games, without it being a shutout. So I don't look at them as much as you do. I mean, yeah, they're nice, but yeah. So I'm not going to say, oh, well, Jake Allen's got 2.
Shutouts tell you that the entire team played well, especially a 30 shot or more shutout tells you that was the team playing well, right?
Actually, no, it would have to be under 30 shot shutout for me to feel that the team is playing well, because if the defense is doing their job, they're not allowing 30 plus shots on goal.
Well, when you think about it, so I've been looking at this, right? And I used to. Now, 10 years ago, 30 shots was the average, right? and you would have teams that would be way under it, in the 20 range, in the low 20s, and then you'd have teams that be closer to 40. You go and you look at where the teams are right now in the stats, and it's actually kind of surprising where the shot stats are, right? When you go, and I'm pulling it up right now, my mouse is still wanting to stick on me. But 30 is actually a better number. It's not in the middle. It's not where you would think it would be. Here we go. Shots per game. Took a second to find it. We got this over just a little bit. Okay. Mouse. Somebody shoot my mouse. Flip it. Okay, now let me bring this up for you guys. And wrong thing. Oh, you're getting it exactly from E.
Thanks, E.
Here we go. So let me put this up and show you guys. For me right now, I think that what used to be, a number is no longer a number. So if you're looking at this chart right here, the Arizona Coyotes, who have one win, are allowing 25.3 shots per game. They are the best team at limiting shots. And they're 1-10-1. They have 1 point or 3 points on the season. Right? And you go down to the 15-16 mark, and that's the Flyers and the Ducks, and they're sitting just over 30. Right? 30.2, 30.6. 30's average for me, right? It would be if the number gets over 30 that I'm starting to be concerned about the defense. And the Blues are sitting at 22nd at 32. I used to think 25 was the number to shoot for, but it might be the number is actually 27, 28, 29 is the number that you want to shoot for, because you look at all the teams that are in that range, right? Mm-hmm. So you have under 30, you've got 13 teams, right? And over 30, you've got, the rest of the league. You look at over 30, so you're looking at the ones that are 31 and above. So you only got 3 teams right there in that middle. So I don't know. It's shots are kind of different. I think I know they put shots per game. I'd rather see high quality chances per game.
Yeah.
Right? I'd rather see chances. And I know that's very arbitrary to what a chance is. Mm-hmm. Right? But I think if you had chances, it would definitely give a better understanding of, because you know what? While they're only allowing 25 shots a game, if they're losing that many, they're allowing 10 chances. When you're allowing 10 chances on 25 shots, you're in trouble. Right?
And it's over. The Rangers held on to win 4-3. The Panthers are now 10-1.
So everybody has a regulation loss now.
Yes.
Right? So what are some of your thoughts on tomorrow, Ashley?
Hey, Wendy. Tomorrow, I'm just hoping that they come out. O'Reilly has more, stamina, because COVID drained you. He probably wasn't his full self yesterday. He needs to, play a little bit more to get built back up. So hopefully he'll come back like Saad did in his second game. They just need to play a full hockey game. They can't score, in the first minute and give up the rest of the game. They have to play the whole game.
Yeah, I agree. And not just that. I think one of the things that I saw yesterday that concerns me just a little bit was a little bit too much. I mean, Ruby said that it wasn't. Well, they only had 2 penalties. 2 penalties. I'll take that. I'll take 2 penalties all day long.
Mhm.
Right. Winnipeg is going to be a tough team. It's basically going to come down to which Hullebuck we get. Do we get good Hullebuck or do we get bad Hullebuck? Do we get good Bennington or do we get bad Bennington? And it's going to be a pitcher's duel. I see that right here, right now. You know, and I think you kind of might agree with me on that it's going to be a pitcher's duel. I
Well,
just
it
want to
depends
see.
on if we have 2 good goaltenders or if we get a bad version of either one.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming that when you're so right now, I think the standings, the Winnipeg Jets are in 3rd.
Mhm.
They're not far behind the Blues. I think they're a point or 2 points behind. Last I looked. So let's see. So they're 2 points behind with the game in hand. Actually, no, pardon me. They're a point behind with the game in hand. So Minnesota is leading the division with 16 points. They're 8-3-0. St. Louis is 7-2-1 with 15 points. Winnipeg is 6-3-2 with 14 points. So
Mhm.
the division is still tight. Minnesota's won 3 in a row. So Minnesota is actually starting to say, hey, look at us. Look at us. You didn't want to count it. You guys counted this out. Talbot has been impressive so far this season. I will say that. Talbot has he's 7-2-0, right? Got a 285 with a 904. Not, I mean, really, the 904 is not a great number, and the 285 is high, but you know what? They're scoring goals, right?
That's a good question,
So,
Wendy.
say again.
He said, "Will Hollebeck even play because he was out the Hawks game having a baby?" Well, his wife, obviously, not him.
Well, if she's already have the kid, then yeah, he'll be there, right? Especially as big of that game it is. I think he'll be there, and it's in Winnipeg.
Mhm.
So that's the other thing. The game is in Winnipeg. Hefner says 4-1 Blues, 91 gets 2. I could see that. E doesn't like my baseball analogies.
I kind of agree with E. I mean, I don't really like the term pitcher's duel, but I go with it.
Well, you know, I get some leeway, I guess, since you know, I
It's
did.
your show.
Huh?
You get some leeway because it's your show, but
Well, it's our show, but I'm the founder of it, so that
yes,
gives me just a little bit.
you are the grandfather.
Oh, ouch!
Is it sad
Ouch!
that when you were talking about how in 97 you were re-upping your contract,
Yeah.
and I was sitting there thinking, oh, wow, I was like 11.
I had both. I had 2 daughters at that point.
Yeah.
In 97, I was actually at my 10-year mark, so I was 28.
Mm-hmm.
I was re-upping, so I was at my 10-year mark. That was the second time I think I'd read up. Maybe the second time I'd read up. So I was at my 10-year mark. I had done 10 years in the Navy. I had spent a couple of years in Norfolk and in the Med. Then I spent another 3 years over in Japan, and actually I was 50-50. I did 5 at sea and 5 on shore, considering short schooling, right? And then E goes, I wasn't even born yet. Or Windy wasn't even born in 97 yet. Wow.
How old are you, Wendy?
I think he's 21 or 22. He's in
Aw.
that range, right? I think he's a 98 or a 99er. You know, he's definitely a millennial.
Well, I'm technically a millennial too. I'm the start of the
Nah,
millennials.
23. Okay.
Oh,
I
he's
knew
such
he
a
was.
baby.
Yeah. I thought millennials were the ones born in the 90s.
No, they were born in 84 to I think it was
No, I
the
thought that
late
was Gen
90s.
Ys.
No, Gen Ys are like now.
No, got that now are the millennials. Gen Y. It was Gen X, Gen Y, and then the Millennials.
Hold on.
So
I'm going to look it up.
Yep. I'm almost certain of that because I know my daughters are millennials. They were born in the mid 90s.
Millennials, 1981 to 1996. Generation Z, 97 to 2012. Generation Alpha is early 2010s to mid 2020s.
Okay, well, where's Gen X and Gen Y?
They're kind of like in the middle of them, but I am a millennial. I was born in 85.
Oh. I thought you were. I remember hearing. So I was born in '68, and I was called a Gen X, right? Because it was baby boomers, and then Gen X's, and then Gen Ys. So I thought the kids born in the '60s were your Gen X's, and the kids born in the '60s and the '70s were your X's, and your kids born in the after that would have been your Gen Ys.
Okay, millennials are also known as Gen Y. Generation X, it looks like, well, then it went away. It just said that millennials are also known as Y. So I am a both.
Got that a little right. So that's the one when I hear the whatever boomer. Oh, that one ticks me off. That ticks me off. I get pissed at that one. I absolutely get pissed at that one because my parents are boomers. I'm not.
My dad is a boomer. I am not. But I'm also a later in life baby. My dad was 35 when I was born.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a crick in my neck here from sitting in the chair. I like the other chair better, but got to do what I got to do.
Eventually, I just need to get a chair. Right now, these hardwood and kitchen chairs suck.
Yeah, I know that. And then my O-ring on my mic broke, so my mic's like hanging funky. So I'm gonna have to go try and find a new O-ring tomorrow. See if I can find one. See, I got a little black O-ring that.
Oh, yeah.
Holding my mic up. Snapped.
Oh, yikes.
So I got to go find a new O-ring. It kind of, I don't know if you could see it, but it.
Yeah, I see it.
Mic up.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't have one of those fancy mics. I have a little headset.
Yeah, we're going to work on that. We're going to have to work on that as we go
Allie's
along.
Making fun of me right now.
Oh, Wendy,
she told me it sucks to be me.
Say again?
My daughter, Allie, just said it sucks to be you to me about my mic. She's a turd.
Well, we're going to have to work on that. We're going to have to see what kind of audio equipment we can get you. Hopefully I can get my company back running and start bringing in some money so I can take care of that. But we'll see what we can do there. You're in trouble,
can send
Wendy.
me the info on the website. If I can't figure it out myself, I have a friend that works with tech, and he could probably get it up and going.
Well, the issue with the website is we put it on a dedicated server. Paid for 4 months. Those 4 months have gone out. So they stopped hosting. They're not allowing my site. Well, the problem is I don't know who the dedicated server is.
My friend Jeffrey actually is in charge of I don't know a whole lot about prisons, but they have like shops. He's the person that makes the websites for prisoners to shop. He's in charge of all the prisons in the Midwest and I think in the Carolinas. So he's really good with tech. Like I'm pretty sure he could help us out.
Tell him, you can give him the site itself and see if he can figure out who the server is. If he can figure out who the server is, then maybe I can get a hold of him and get this turned over into my name so I can pay, see if I can pay for it, at least get us up until I move me to a cheaper server or a different server. I had to go to a dedicated server because we were having so many hits. We were losing hits because the server was getting jammed.
Yeah.
It was a shared server. The other guys were getting their hits, but I was losing mine, and I didn't like that. So that's kind of what we're doing. And yes, Wendy, I know you were messing with me. I have nothing but love for you, and you got to know that we're absolutely, we love everybody, and we have issues. People have issues. They have issues, right? You go with what you got. You do what you can. You do the best you can every single day, and you just hope to get through each day happy and healthy, right?
Exactly.
And that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I want to get the site back up, because I actually think that I can start writing again. I'm talk to the Interstate 70 guys. Maybe I can at least start writing on them for a little bit. Maybe get a connection going. I don't know yet. We'll try and set something up. But that's what we got. So tomorrow the game is a 3:00 game, I think, my time, which would be 7 your time. Is that correct? So 6:30 pregame show.
Yep.
I'm trying to bring it up here real quick just to double check. We'll play the Winnipeg Jets. This is be our fifth game in division, I think. Fourth game in division. Yeah, we've played. So 8 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, 7 Central. 6:30 is the pregame. Oh, the Penguins are taking on the Blackhawks tomorrow too. That's going to be a good game. Wendy's going to enjoy that. There's a full slate tomorrow, man. You look at tomorrow's slate. This is how it starts off. You've got Ottawa at Boston, the Kings at the Canadiens, the Hurricanes at the Lightning. That's going to be a good game right off the get-go. Panthers at Devils, Oilers at Red Wings, Blues at Jets, Penguins at Blackhawks, Sharks at Flames, Ducks at Canucks. I like that. And the Kraken are in Vegas.
Wow.
A lot of divisional matchups, some good cross-conference matchups. Going to be a fun night tomorrow, just not for our game, but for the rest of the league. We'll try and cover more of the league. We're trying to cover more of the league as we go along. Ashley, been a great show.
It has.
Right? Very fun. I'm hoping we can keep talking. Was going to be Marion host tonight, but that was postponed at a later date, unfortunately. You know what? That is the first right decision that the Blackhawks have made. Right? In all of this, that's the one right decision that they've made. Right? You look at some of the other decisions that were made way too late. This Hossa, postponing that. I get it. I know it sucks. I know people were looking forward to it, but now is not the time to celebrate. It's really not. You need to take the Blackhawks as an organization need to take some time. Absolutely need to take some time.
That reminds me, did Marianne ask you her question? She sent me an article about how John Doe 2.
Yes, I seen that. I didn't want to go into it because we kind of covered it, and I didn't want to get too much into it, but there were things that were said in there. Bettman, I'm sorry, I'm not a Bettman hater.
I'm not either.
I'm really not. Right? I look at, where the league is, and, have they made mistakes? Yes, but is the league in a better place than where Bettman got it? And absolutely it is.
I mean, I can understand if they think that somebody else, it's time for him to move the torch, but I don't think we need to fire him.
Yeah. I don't think he needs to be forced out. If it's time to retire, time to retire.
Yeah.
But if he's not ready to retire, then I'm okay with him still being the commissioner. I'm sorry. You know what? You look at, and we'll cover this real quick, since it's a late topic and it just came up. You look at where ticket prices were in mid 90s. Right?
Mm-hmm.
A front row seat was $140, $120 in that range in St. Louis. I know I sat in them a couple of times. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Which in the 90s was expensive, but wasn't that expensive. Right? It felt reasonable, especially then, for the Blues. Those first 4 rows, you got to go to the Blues Club, to all you can eat. All you can eat and drink. It was worth the money to sit in those seats. Salaries were going through the roof. If salaries did not get contained some way, somehow, the $400 seat, that's what it costs to sit in the front row now, would have been $1,000. to get in the building, would have cost $250. I guarantee that, or more. Right? The fact that you can get into a Blues game for $40 is decent. I'll take that. Right? $40 for 2.5 hours, or actually, if you're smart, it's 5 hours of entertainment. Right? They open up an hour before, you got the 2 hours, and they keep open for an hour after, or something like that. So 4 hours, yeah. 4.5 hours. Absolutely worth it. Worth it to be there. Marianne was lucky she had season tickets behind into the goaltenders club. I remember I got to eat in the club once. And I want to see if I can get this right. I want to say it was the 92-93 season, the 25th anniversary season, right after the Gulf War. You know, for me, it was after the Gulf War, because when the Gulf War ended, I didn't get to come home. This was the first time I got to come home after the Gulf War. I made my leave set up so I would be home for the first 4 games of the season. Right. And I got to go to all 4 games. I got to go to the home opener. I got to go sit down, you know, and then I seen Sharks game. That was the first Sharks game that, you know, they ever played in St. Louis. I got to see that. That game I sat right off of the penalty box. Sharks penalty box. I forget. I've seen another game. I forget who that was. And I seen a Blackhawks game. Took my sister to the first and the fourth game, but I wore my uniform to the second and third game. And in wearing my uniform, I got brought up to the goaltenders club and back there. And I also had a pretty close seat. So I was treated really nice, being that I was in uniform for those games. So to me, the fact that salaries are much better. I mean, you look at an NBA game, go look at what it costs to go to an NBA game, and they have more seats than a hockey game. Right? Because you look at, they use the same buildings, but they have a smaller footprint. So their seats being used that normally aren't used. Right? Yet the average ticket price is through the roof. So you remember the early 80s, walk in for $10 and sit ice. Yeah, you could. If it was, you know, some of the crappier teams, you could back then. So, Ashley, thank you so much for showing up tonight. Sorry we're running a little late. I know you got your test. Good luck on your test tomorrow.
Thank you.
I seen that little hand in there, so hi to the little hand.
That's Allie.
That's Allie. She likes me, actually. She's like the only one of your kids that literally likes me. So.
Hey, Leia says, let's go Blues for you, so.
Yeah, I got to say it once. I got twice.
Yeah, you've gotten it twice.
Yeah,
but so, Addison just keeps to herself. She doesn't dislike anybody. She just would rather play on her phone.
Yep, that's the millennial for you.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this is Guy the Wild Blues fan for Ashley Slapshot Jones, saying aloha, mahalo, and you got to know we're bleeding blue with you, and we can't wait to see you tomorrow on the pregame show at 6:30 Central Standard Time. Everyone have a great night. Have fun, and we will see you tomorrow if I can figure this out. Aloha!